The most important aspect of fighting is control. You want to learn how to control your opponent, and you do that by giving them a threat. And that threat will be you're going to land with the jab. And do you want to learn how to be faster with the jab? This is it. The most important punch is not the one that you see coming, it's the one that sets the powerful shots. And for most of the cases, that is the jab. The reason why the jab is so important really in fighting is because it sets up a lot of the different shots that you can take with it. Jab can set up a straight. If you have a very strong jab, you can use that jab and then fake the jab, then go to the hook. If you have a good jab, the distance that you can control with it is there. You'll always have that control. You can always be touching him. That's why the jab is so important. You're not always going to throw the straight, because the straight and the hook, or because the straight will leave you off balance, and you can find your own distance in the jab as well. And in my second fight, I did that. I had my hand up like that, and then, because I was measuring the distance, right? Because the jab is the closest punch from you to your opponent, and if you have that distance down, you can set it up with bigger shots. The jab is often used to set up your shots, like the jab straight, the double jab straight, right? It's used to set up what? It's used to set up the straight, because if the guy's coming in, right, you can just jab him. That's the shortest, that's the fastest punch you have. The jab may not be the strongest, it's the fastest. It's the fastest, and it gives you the most knowledge. The most important thing is control. If you jab and you see him not reacting to the jab, right? You jab the air, and he's not reacting. I think you'll have the go signal to throw a double jab, have the second jab to land, and then go for the straight. And then that straight may knock him out. It gives you a lot of control over those that just shell up, right? I like this. I very much like this punch. It's one of my most thrown punches because it gives you a lot of knowledge, a lot of control. And the most important aspect of fighting is control, right? You want to learn how to control your opponent, and you do that by giving them a threat. And that threat will be you're going to land with the jab, and then you'll know what to. And then after you've landed with the jab, you do that again and again, and then you'll figure out their habits. Do they like to duck here? Do they like to stand here still? Do they like to counter punch? And then you move accordingly to that. Maybe if they duck here, I can throw a head kick over there. Maybe if they just stand still, I can brawl it out with my punches over there, right? That's why this jab is so important, because it gives you a lot of knowledge. Now, if you want to learn more about how to fight, I suggest you check out my school community. I have a course there about how to fight at home. How do we actually improve this punch? Well, repetition. The more times you do it, the more times you'll get good at it. Really, it's just go into a bag, jab, do that 500 times. Just jab. Work the jab, just jab. This is maybe the most basic punch, but this is the most important. Really. Learn the different variations of the jab. What am I talking about? The reason why we want to mix it up is because you don't want to be that fighter that everybody's already figured out. You want to be unpredictable when you're fighting. That's why you want to throw different combinations of the jab or different variations of the jab. Maybe instead of a jab, you go jab, right? Or maybe if you were to jab here, the second jab will not be a jab that has no power, but will be there. You want to have different variations for different basic movements, because these variations, in my experience, will compound, and it will make you a more fulfilled, a more balanced fighter overall. You won't just know the basics, but you'll actually have a higher skill level than the basics, right? Never be lazy when practicing punches. I see this a lot. I see this a lot. Even I did this. When I was jabbing and then it took me too long to get back to my guard, that's no, we don't do that, especially in kickboxing. We don't like to do that because if we were to do that, you're just gonna get knocked out, right? If every time you jab, you go, oh, you're just gonna get knocked out. And do you want to learn how to be faster with the jab? This is it. First and foremost, the jab isn't actually just getting the punch out there and then having a slow retraction. The punch is getting it out there and then getting it in as fast as possible as well. And that's how you throw punches faster. Focus on the retraction as well, not just the extraction, right? Retraction. Focus on retracting it, right? Focus on the. And then also, this is for punches, but relax your shoulders. If you have very tense shoulders, the punches won't be fast. Those are the tips and tricks of how to throw a good jab. Go to my school, subscribe. Thank you.